Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Ronline Report. Today's guest, always a pleasure to speak to. He is one of the top bodybuilders of my generation. Now he's an entrepreneur with many things going, especially Wicked Cutz Jerky. Most delicious jerky I've ever tried. My goodness. Branch Warren, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you doing? How's the quarantine going up there?
Not bad. But I keep thinking if I could be in anybody's house during an apocalyptic event, I'd probably want to be in your house because you probably got stacks and stacks of jerky, got all kinds of firepower and ammo. You probably have like a sick home gym. Am I right?
Yeah, we're pretty blessed, man. I of course I hunt, so I've probably got several hundred pounds of meat from hunting this past hunting season that I eat throughout the year. So got plenty of food. We got the farm.
Yeah.
We got a pond full of fish, and you know, uh, got a couple guns and a few bullets, and so
Couple.
like they well, it's crazy, man. I mean, people like think it's like the end of the world, man. I mean, you've seen the lines of these gun stores. My friend owns a gun store here in town, and they're sold out.
Ooh.
They like you
So
can't. They have no guns, no bullets. I mean, people think it's like the apocalypse or something. I don't know,
what do you
but
blame that on? What do you think that is?
it's the media.
Uh,
I think the media kind of drives people. You know, I think they. The problem with the media, they gotta have ratings, right?
yeah.
So, and you got 24-hour news, so they gotta have something to talk about. So they sensationalize it and they make it sound like it's the end of the world or something. And don't get me wrong, this is a serious thing. It's not something to be laughed at, but it's not the end of the world, y'all. We're still going to eat. There's still going to be food. There's not going to be civil war in the streets and all this nonsense. So we hope. So
The media has always it's in and since I can remember, the media has been about fear, 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 fear. Like there'll be a little teaser for the news. It'll say something in your kitchen could kill you right now. Story at 11. You got to wait till 11 o'clock to find out what's going to kill you in your kitchen. So yeah, anything that they can scare us and keep us terrified and watching. They just want you to watch CNN or Fox News or whatever it is. But
I think to me, everything I've read, this stuff is. I think it has about 1.5% of the people who get it that actually die from it, which is
yeah,
a lot, especially in a country of 330 million people.
yeah,
But that being said, I think the biggest fear is they're trying to slow it down because if you had, say, 100 million people come down with this stuff at one time,
yeah,
that's the 80% of people don't have to go to the hospital. They're 20% have to go to the hospital. You
right.
take 18 or 20 million people, we don't have that many hospital beds,
No,
and these
no.
people need care. They can't get care, then they get serious. So I think from what I can understand, that's the biggest push right now is just to slow it down so that you don't have this mad rush to the hospital, and then people, do a lot of people die that don't have to die.
Yeah,
So
it's well, I think it has been blown out of proportion to some extent. There's also a lot of people out there in serious denial, which is I hope are you on Facebook? Facebook is just full of conspiracy theories and this and that, and they're saying the regular flu, people get more flu and die of the regular flu. That's completely wrong. It's actually 0.01% of people that get the regular strains of flu die, and 0.1%. I'm not good at math, but that little decimal in the zero makes a big difference. It's 10 times the
yes,
amount. So if 1% of the US population died of this, that's 3.3 million people.
a lot of
So
people.
that's a lot of people. That's like a gee, the Vietnam War, we lost like 60,000 people over the
World
course of
War World
10
War
years.
Two, we lost like 400,000.
Yeah, yeah. So imagine
So
that. And that was over there getting slaughtered by
yeah,
Nazis and Japanese and whatnot. Let's talk about some happier things though, because uh, your company, Wicked Cuts, did a has come. You guys did something very very cool recently. You partnered up with a charity called Sons of the Flag, and you released a special edition of the jerky with the camo and everything, with all the profits, all the proceeds going to this. So, first of all, can you tell me a little bit about Sons of the Flag and what that is?
yeah. Let me give you a little backstory. So I have a good friend. He was overseas in the military, and he was severely injured about 10 years ago, and burned over 75% of his body. Lost his one of his legs at the knee, and the burn victims or burn survivors. They're not victims; they're survivors because these people are unbelievably strong in what they go through to overcome. So I, no getting I hear the stories and you see what they go through, and it's not like okay, you go through this process, you're healed up and you're good. I mean, he's getting ready to go in for another surgery, and this is 10 years ago. So it's a continual process, and they have a lot of medical problems that they have to overcome, and a lot of things they have to fight through. And so these people they need help, and you know And then I find out there's only like 200, a little over 200 burn surgeons in the entire country.
Wow.
There's hundreds of thousands of people that need care for burns every year. Military first responders leading the statistics. Of course, car wrecks and other things, industrial accidents also. But military, veterans and first responders are the most likely to be severely burned. And so I saw this and I was like, I live a very blessed life. I get to live my dream. I'm very blessed. Going through these economic times that we're going, I think the worst impact of this disease is going to be economic, with the coronavirus.
Mhm.
And, fortunately, I'm very blessed and I'm not really stressing. I'm very fortunate. I don't have to stress out with my family.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of opportunities. And, the reason I've had these opportunities and the reason I live this life, because people like my friend went over and made a sacrifice. And there's been a lot of people, in the history of this country that made the ultimate sacrifice so that we can have the opportunities we have and live the life we have. And this is the first time in our generation that we've all had to pull together and make any kind of sacrifice.
Right.
The last time it was our grandparents, the last time they had to make any sacrifices as a nation. The
Right.
Depression, then World War II, where everybody, it touched everyone. So and this is not as severe as that. I hope it doesn't get that severe, but we as a nation are having to make some sacrifices, and it's affecting everyone in this country. And so I think we can kind of relate this to these first responders and these military veterans that have gone over there and they've been injured severely and come home because of their sacrifice. In the previous generations, we have what we have, and I have a lot of opportunities because of their sacrifice. So I want to do something after seeing my friend what he's going through to give back and help these people out. So Sons of the Flag, my friend introduced me to him. Ryan Parrott is the CEO. He's a former Navy SEAL. He was also burned overseas, and he came back, went through the process, and he's like, there's a lot of guys that need a lot of extended care, and they're not getting what they need, and most importantly, we don't have enough surgeons to go around. So what they do, they get these young kids and help pay for their schooling and training to become burn surgeons. So that then also they take people that need surgeries and pair them with the right surgeon to get the treatment they need. And he's walked the walk. He was a Navy SEAL for I think 10 years, and multiple combat tours, and just a really outstanding guy. And so we got together with them, and it's not 100% of the profits; it's 100% of the proceeds from this bag go to Sons of the Flag, and to help these men and women that have given so much for us.
Yeah, that's Sergeant Omar Avila. Is that him in the picture?
That's him. Yep.
Yeah, good dude.
And that's
Wow.
a guy on the right is that's Ryan, the CEO,
Yeah,
former Navy
right.
SEAL, who runs Sons of the Flag, and of course my partner Scott James on the left.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Yeah, very, very cool of you to do this. You've always been a big supporter of the military and, a real patriot, I want to say, because I don't know too many people love this country more than you, Branch, and you make me want to love the country even more every time I talk to you. Um, tell me one thing about this, how this is affecting different things. Our industry is basically shut down now for a little bit. You're a contest promoter. What dates were your shows? You have more than one show. You have two shows, right? Or do you have three at this point? No, now I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Yeah. Where'd you go? Driving report, driving will change. I can't hear you. Can you still hear me? There you
How
go.
about
Now
now?
I hear you.
Yeah,
Yeah, there
okay.
we go. There we go. We're
All right.
back, everybody.
All right. Sorry
Yeah.
about that. Um, so I had a show February 22nd, which went off. It was the
Okay.
first show of the year here in Texas, which kind of didn't want that date. I kind of got forced into that date, but as it turned out, it was a blessing because if it had been the date I wanted, it wouldn't have been a show. So my next show is in Houston, June 13th.
Okay.
So we're praying that this thing is kind of gets behind us and we can move on with the competition. At this point, we don't know. Right now, it's still on. I've talked to my powerlifting promoter, my jiu-jitsu promoter, strongman, arm wrestling, all the other events. I'm leaving a few out here. Everybody's still on board. We're still taking entries. People are still signing up. Um, so if people have an ability to train, then keep training because unless they lock us down, we're going to have the show.
Yeah.
So as long as the conditions with the virus improve. So hopefully we pray that not just because of the show, because of people's health and safety. Number one, we get over this, and number two, I think the economic fallout from this thing is going to be unimaginable if we don't get this thing passed. It's not going to. We're already in a recession. We went from a very strong economy to a recession in a matter of a couple of weeks, and we're headed towards a depression if we don't can't get this thing under control.
Nobody, if businesses are all shut down and we got, I don't know, what is it, like 20% of the workforce is out of work right now, unemployment file,
The
this is
Great Depression
insane.
was about 25, 27%.
Wow.
So we're looking at 30+% if this thing doesn't shake loose and we find somebody to get it stopped. So
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And I worry about just it's trivial, but the bodybuilding season, they want to start up again on May, the NPC IPB, they're scrambling, obviously, like everybody is right now, trying to postpone and push dates back. And they hope to have, by the New York Pros, May 16th, they hope to be up and running and having shows again, which who knows. But I'm thinking, how are all these people training right now? How can food's not a problem and this and that, but I don't think everybody has access to even a lot of pros can't train right now.
now I have access to training to be able to train, but most people don't. I know some guys around here and some guys and girls both that are pro. They don't have nowhere to train, and some people they've got access to a private gym or somebody owns some guys they own a gym or something they can get in and train themselves, but it's hard. So
even Metroflex is shut down, correct?
Metroflex is shut down first time in ever.
Yeah, and
So
I would think there's probably worse things in there at some points than the coronavirus, but
I made a joke about it. When it first coronavirus broke out, I wouldn't do it now because it's gotten pretty serious. But I put a picture of Metroflex up and I said I survived 27 years in here. I ain't worried about no coronavirus. So
it's kind of true though.
Yeah, it's places. But
all right. Okay, well let's switch gears. I was at the Arnold Classic, and I saw the return of Johnny Jackson to the stage after I think it was 3 years, almost 3 years away. 2017 was the last 2017 Olympia, and I think did he do one post show? Anyway, he was gone for at least two full seasons. Came back for the first time back after all that time. Looked pretty good, but he could have been sharper. I wish he had a couple more shows in the weeks after. I'm sure he would have gotten better and better, but
that was his plan was to do. He had 2 more shows he wanted to do, and because Johnny always gets better. If he'll do 3 shows, he'll look okay the first one. He gets better the second one. He can sometimes win the third one, and he just gets better and better. And then everything got canceled, so he was really disappointed with that. And that being said, he trained his ass off for this show, for this comeback. If you saw what he looked like back in the summer, and the amount of progress he made, and the amount of I hadn't seen him this hungry and trained this hard in a long time, man. I mean, he really went above and beyond. I mean, he kicked my ass the whole time, and
I interviewed him, and he actually credited you as a big reason he wanted. He got so fired up training with you again that he was looking so good after a month or two. He saw the changes, and that's what really inspired him to come back. Which leads me, of course, I have to ask, Branch. You're looking like you could come back anytime you wanted to, and he actually said in our interview that you wanted to make a comeback even more than he did. But I don't know your situation with your businesses and everything else you got going on. How much do you want to make a comeback, and how realistic is it for you to come back and still do all the things that you want to do outside of competitive bodybuilding?
It's not realistic. Since I retired, I started working on the things I'm working on now before I retired. And with Wicked Cutz especially, we're doing really well. Even during this whole epidemic, because it's beef jerky and turkey jerky and things that has over a 1-year shelf life. Guys, we're open for business. WickedCutz.com. We got plenty of jerky, and we're selling it faster than we can make it.
Yeah.
Because it's online, order direct, and we ship it right to you. So, and if for me to come back and to be my best, it would require 100% commitment. And what does that mean? That means everything else is going to suffer, and it makes no sense for me to all the things I've worked so hard to build the past 4 years. All that would suffer, and it just doesn't make sense for one show. It doesn't. That doesn't make sense. I live my dream. I want everything on this planet except for the Olympia, and I got no regrets. I gave in the Olympia. I gave 100%, man. I did everything I could fucking do to win that damn thing, and I didn't. But when you give everything you got, how can you regret it? If I held back,
two Arnold Classic titles, like 12 or more pro wins altogether. And that second place at the Olympia in 2009. If Cutler had not come back that year looking insane, that was your show. My goodness, when you were the first person to come out.
I was always the first person.
And that light, I mean, the pictures, the videos will last forever. That light hitting you from underneath, and my goodness, that was the best you've ever looked. That was just, everybody. I think every bodybuilder has that one show where they just nail it, and people talk about that one show forever. For you, that 2009 Olympia, you were on your game, dude. Oof.
Yeah, man, I wanted it, and I wanted bad. And if Jay, I think, in my opinion, that was his all-time best conditioning. That's probably his lightest weight I think ever at the Olympia, but his conditioning was on point. I think I was still harder than him, but he's 25, 30 pounds heavier, and I get it, dude. Mr. Olympia's about size matters, and if I was 3 inches taller, been a different story. But it is what it is, man. I'm not one of those guys that says, man, I should have won, blah, blah, blah. It was fair. I mean,
Yeah.
I think I was harder, more conditioned. He was bigger, and he was in his best all-time condition, and I wasn't that much harder than him. And it was fair. So I got no regrets, man. I did everything I could do, and Jay's a good dude, and it is what it is.
Yeah, and your life post competition has been a lot more, let's say, rewarding, fulfilling than a lot of pros I've known after they retired. You've got Trish, you got your daughter Faith. What's she, like 8 or 9 years old by now?
She turned 8 in February.
Oh, just time flies.
I
And
know.
you got, this business is doing well, and man, it's a great product, man. I don't just say that. I've had a lot of jerky from different places because I've been a fan of jerky since I was a little kid, and Slim Jim was like a big treat. I get my dad to buy me a Slim Jim if we were out and about. And man, the only one I can't handle because I'm sensitive stomach is that volcanic jalapeno.
I haven't
What's
sent you
that?
this one. Have a
What's that thing?
Carolina Killer,
Carolina. Wicked hot. No, no, dude.
bro. It's got Carolina Reaper peppers, scorpion peppers, and ghost peppers.
Oh
Because
no.
believe it or not, we had guys saying, "Man, this volcanic ain't hot enough." I said, "Well, man, we'll fix you." And we got this stuff, and it's like going viral, man. People making videos. Can you eat the whole bag? And it's I can't eat it. I've had 2 pieces,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I can't do it. I literally turned red, started sweating, and my tongue was burning. I couldn't eat nothing for like 30 minutes. I'm drinking milk and all kinds of stuff trying to get I can't do it because I don't
I
eat
had
hot stuff.
the volcanic jalapeno that you sent me a few bags last year. I had maybe two pieces like that, and it took me probably 40 ounces of ice water before I was like not choking anymore.
Dude,
I don't know how these
times a
people
hundred,
do it.
times 100.
No,
So this right here is our number one seller now.
really? Is it
Yeah,
just
I
because
had
people want to prove how macho they are?
they love it, man. There's people get they'll sit there and Louise, our IT guy here,
Yeah.
marketing guy, he'll sit there and he eat a whole bag. He'll be sweating. He'll be dripping off on. He's dripping on his shirt. He'll just keep eating. He's like, man, I love this stuff. And I'm
Oh,
like, aren't you miserable? He's like, nah, man, it's good.
yeah.
That's
You
cool.
know, there are a lot of Branch Warren fans out there who are going to be a little saddened by what you just said, that you're definitely not interested in making a comeback because we saw the videos. Gasp, Nick Del Toro was over there at Gasp shooting tons of great video of you and Johnny training, and man, you really look like you could get back up there anytime you wanted to. And I know you just love training hard. It doesn't matter if there's a if
Yeah,
there's
I
a
don't.
show next week or you're never doing a show again. You
All I
train just as hard.
all I would need to do is just start eating some more food. Gain back a little more weight, and start dieting, and I could get ready. But that little bitty extra requires a lot of effort, man, and 100% focus. And I just it doesn't make sense. It's I lived and breathed that stuff for a long time, man, and there was nothing else to me but competing and training. And I train now. I have more fun training now than I ever have in my life because for the simple reason I love to train. I think I said in an interview before. Some people worked out because they were bodybuilders. I was a bodybuilder because I love to work out and I love to train, and there's a difference. And I just love training, man. When me and Johnny didn't train together for almost a year. I had a little rotator cuff scope done,
Yeah.
and right before the Olympia in 20 whatever it was, 18 maybe, and so and I was so busy with work, and I had like the past 2 years have been actually the busiest 2 years of traveling in my entire career, believe it or not.
Mm.
And as I retired, I got more busy, and so we just didn't train, and we went to China back in the summer, back in August, and
Mm.
we we picked up like right where we left off and started training, and going after it, and it just felt good, man. And consequently, he started getting back in shape. I started getting back in shape, because the harder I train, the hungrier I get. So instead of eating 4 meals a day, I started eating five, and I started eating cleaner. And he started doing the same thing, and he started changing. And he's like, "Yo, man, I think I'm gonna make a comeback." I'm like, yeah. And he called me. I forget if he called me up on the phone. He said, hey, bro, I just got the phone with you know, Bob Lorimer. He goes, I'm in. I go,
Wow.
really? He goes, you got me. He goes, you got my back. I was like, 100%, bro. Let's go.
Yeah.
And that was it.
You didn't
So
go. You stayed. That was the first Arnold you've missed in many
yeah,
years, huh?
actually, I was we had tickets, hotel, everything, and airline tickets, and I they said they're canceling all the expo and everything. Like,
Yeah.
all right, I said we'll still go. Because Trish is a workout partner, Dee Dee, who got a fourth in the physique,
Oh,
was in the show too, and then one of her good friends, Katie, was in the fitness, and
Katie Marshall.
yeah,
Yeah.
so we we're still gonna go. Then we hear I call somebody and one of the staff people, and they said, "No, they're not gonna let anybody attend the show. It's just gonna be the athletes, and that's it."
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, "What the hell's the point of going if we can't? What are we gonna do? Sit in the hotel all day?"
Yeah.
And because Columbus is fun that weekend, but if you don't have the expo and all the stuff going on, there ain't a lot to
Let,
really do.
let's
And
be real.
especially,
Columbus isn't that fun. Come on now.
yeah. And
Great
plus, it's
people,
about
very
the time
nice
of year
people,
that
but
it's cold. It might be snowing. You don't know what it's gonna do. And I said, "What do you want to do?" And she says, "There's really, if we can't go to the show, what's the point in going?" And so that's the first I haven't been to in 20 years.
wow. Well, you
So
know that they did allow people to the finals for Friday and Saturday night, which was cool, but it made no sense. It's like you didn't allow them there during the day. Like they're not going to catch the virus at night from each other. But anyway, but I'll
I
tell
know.
you what was bizarre. I've been to I don't know how many pro shows, a couple hundred at least. I've never even amateur any. I've been to a lot of contests. I've never been to one where there was an empty auditorium. There was just judges and like a couple rows of photographers and
That
I
was
think
it.
some coaches were there. That some family members, and that was it. Huge empty house. All you could hear the house music, but other than that, it was crickets in there. And like nobody was getting. You couldn't hear cheering, clapping. As a pro, I talked to a couple of guys. They said it was kind of weird because usually they feed off the energy of the crowd and people
Yeah.
cheering, and there was none of. They hit a pose and it's like nothing. It's like,
See, that
do I
was
look?
me. My routines and my thing was like always get the crowd amped up, and as they got amped up, I fed off that energy, and I just got more amped up on the stage. And I remember thinking, man, I'm glad this didn't happen to me because I'd be out there trying to do my thing, and there's no crowd. That'd be kind of weird.
Yeah, American Badass, Kid Rock. That was my favorite song you ever used for one of your routines. Limp Bizkit rolling. That was good too. But yeah, I like
You
that
remember, you remember
American.
all that? So
I do. Well, that's because we have a very similar taste in music. So that the songs that you use were songs that I would have used too. So man, so Johnny, I know I should be asking him this, but is he still going to keep going? I assume he is.
he is, man. We're training. We got a little private place we can train at, and so it's just me and him going there every day by ourselves, and we're still able to get our workouts on, and we're he's he looks great right now. He's stayed on his plan, and he just doesn't know. Everything's up in the air. He's like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep
nobody
training. I'm
knows.
gonna stay in good shape, and whenever this thing passes, then I'll be ready to get ready for whatever there is.
Uh,
So
Switching gears completely again. I assume your daughter's out. They kicked everyone out of school.
yeah,
So are you guys homeschooling her, or does she do online stuff? What are they doing?
they're starting online stuff this week. So
Okay,
their teacher called and they were getting it all set up. So it's um it's just crazy. I mean, honestly, I don't mind having the whole family at the house and being together all the time. I've
sure.
done more. We've got the farm and stuff, so we went out and spent a few days down there and just fishing and hanging out and riding four wheelers and it's
Hmm.
just I think that's a good thing. I think I see more people out with their families, walking with their kids and riding bikes and stuff than I ever have. And
Yeah,
so in that regard, maybe that's the silver lining in all this is people helping being with their families more, spending more time with their families, and I think just give you an example. I live in a really, really cool place where I live. All the neighbors are, everybody's got, pretty big pieces of land, but everybody's really friendly and helps everybody out. And I couldn't find toilet paper. And I was like, this is so ridiculous. And I saw my neighbor out in his front yard and I walked over to the fence and was talking. And I said, yeah, I said, man, I just want some toilet paper. I ain't trying to hoard it. I just, we're
yeah.
out, and I said, I don't really care, but the girls are like, this is messed up. And I'll cut a t-shirt up or take a shower or whatever. I don't care. And, but, you know, uh, the girls are like, and I get that. And we're talking and he messaged me about 15 minutes later. Said, hey man, I got a roll of toilet paper. I'm gonna throw it over your front gate. And I was like, I saw him. I came outside and I saw him when he's doing it, and I was like, man, that was cool. Just something as simple as that. I
Yeah.
mean, and I've seen a lot of other things like that in the neighborhood, go down. Just people helping each other. and even, some people saying, hey, I couldn't find any meat or something, and, go over and give them a couple steaks and some hamburger meat or something. And that's just, I think it's bringing us as a community, bringing us together.
Yeah. This is
So,
probably the best time ever to be a hunter too, because
yeah,
meat
it
is
is.
becoming a commodity lately. Whew.
Well, yeah, I very rarely have to buy anything other than chicken at the store, and I shoot an elk every year, a deer, sometimes a buffalo if I get a tag, and so we got 3 freezers full of meat. So
Nice.
I generally, when that's what we eat all year, so it usually lasts us for a year, and so we're good in that regard.
Don't you have like a walk-in freezer the size of like a prison cell?
We got a really big one,
Yeah.
so it's big. So
I know you had. You can't be putting that in like. You can't be putting an entire buffalo's worth of meat into like a regular little freezer. I'm thinking it's got to be substantial in
well,
size.
yeah, but that's the best meat you can get. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Bison.
people. I know some people have issues with hunting, but if you've ever been to a slaughterhouse,
Mm.
that's way less humane than hunting.
Oh,
So
I've seen that footage. That is just horrific. Yeah, they suffer a lot more than any animal that you've ever hunted for sure.
absolutely,
Yeah. Especially you're a great shot. I'm sure it's one shot, one kill.
exactly. So
So, all right, man. Well, everybody, this is a great time to invest in some beef jerky. You don't have to refrigerate it. It stays good for at least a year.
and
If it,
it's
yeah,
honestly it's my favorite flavor. The traditional jerky is the stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, it's great tasting. So it's actually I like the orange teriyaki was my favorite, and this one surpassed it. So it tastes so good after we're sold out of these. I'm like thinking maybe we need to bring it back as a normal in the regular line because it's
yeah, why
really
not?
good. So
Yeah, absolutely. Why would you lose that flavor forever? Especially if it's that good. Yeah,
agreed.
I haven't tried it. Somebody opened up. I think my son opened up a pack and started eating it. It wasn't me. I was saving it. I'm saving it for the zombie apocalypse. That could be next, Branch. Could be next. Cool, man. Well, it's been great catching up. Again, everybody, go to wickedcuts.com. The Sons of the Flag uh, promotion is there, and all the proceeds do go to Sons of the Flag.
Yep.
Excellent cause for our vets who are burn survivors. You're doing a great thing, you and Scott, and thanks to you guys because you're an example for all of us who really should be doing things like that, but we don't always get around to it. You guys made it happen.
No, just like I said, I've been very blessed and had a lot of opportunities, and because I have those blessings and opportunities, because a lot of people made a lot of sacrifices,
Yeah.
so I can have those opportunities. So, like you said, go to wickedcuts.com, look for the camo bag. 100% of the proceeds goes to Sons of the Flag, which specializes in burn survivors, military vets, and first responders, and helps some people that have given so much to help us.
Cool, man. Thank you, Branch. Thanks for clearing up the comeback rumors. I kind of selfishly wish you would make a comeback, but that's very selfish of me and anybody else to think that Branch should give up this whole this whole life that he's living now just to come back for a contest. He's done all that, guys.
Nah, man, I'm still the hardcore bodybuilder, man. I still do everything, still train just as hard,
Yeah.
having fun doing it, having more fun actually, because there's no pressure and
Right.
no contracts to worry about, no competitions, and
So you put your
so
time in. You competed from what was your first show? 92?
1991,
91. Wow. So you're like 16, 15?
16.
Wow. And your last
Oh,
show was like 2016?
2016.
2016. That's a heck of a run. Yeah,
So
you're all done. You're good. You're good.
I'm good.
Not everybody needs to be doing this when they're 50 like Dexter.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually clean. I actually, it's funny because you mentioned Dexter because I was watching the video he posted and he's pulling out these trunks, right? He had like 40, 50 pairs of trunks in this little Tupperware looking thing. And he's like,
Yeah.
I got like 5 of these. And I'm, yeah, so do I. And I started I cleaned my closet out because, there's not a lot to do because everything's shut down. So I was
Right.
like, you know what? I did everything I could do outside with the yard and all this stuff and the farm. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to clean some of this crap out. And
Mm.
I started pulling out posing trunks. Dude, I bet I had 70, 80 pairs of
Wow.
these things. I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, and I'm like, Trisha, what are you gonna do with them? I said, well, I ain't gonna donate them. Who the hell's gonna wear these? So,
Well, there is a
so,
market out there for them, but
uh, they all went in the
I,
trash.
I don't
But
think you want to. I don't think you want to go that route. Yeah. You're not you're not desperate for money. There are guys out there who would have to sell their trunks to make some cash, but you're good. Wow, 70 pairs of trunks. Whew. Yeah, I would have thought maybe three or four that you just use over and over and over again, but no.
now because every year, every contest, CJ, who makes great trunks,
Yeah.
she would give me 2 or 3 pair every contest, and
Wow.
so you add that up over 15 years. Plus, I
Yeah.
had some back when I was amateur still, and so it just adds up. And speaking of that, Johnny, you know how many contests he competed in as a pro?
I believe it's like 90. It's something right around there, isn't
Like
it?
80 something, over 80.
I think he might have the record. I
He
think he
does.
might have done more shows than anybody else.
He does.
When we did his interview, I actually sat there and looked and tallied it all up. And I can't remember what the number was, but I'm pretty sure he beats everybody as far as contests, pro
He
shows.
does. I had no idea. He
Yeah.
told me, and I was like, "You did how many?" And I knew he did way more than I did, but
Yeah.
I'm like, "That's insane." I only did like 26.
Yeah, and he did a lot of them overseas too. A lot
Yeah.
of them were in like Europe and places
hmm
like that.
Because he would just
Yeah.
go when they had that tour. He'd just go back to back to back and knock out 4, 5, 6 in a row.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Wow, that's
Yeah.
insane."
If you look at any contest lineup from the years like 2002 to 2015, his name's usually in there somewhere.
hmm
Any contest.
hmm
Yeah. That's a warrior because man, doing one or two shows a year is a pain in the butt. Imagine doing I think there were years he did 12 shows. 12 or
There was. There, I
yeah.
remember. I remember a couple of years he did that, and he would get in shape, and basically he just trained the whole year. I mean, I would get ready. I'd do the Arnold, maybe go to Australia or something, and then I was done, and I'd do the Olympia and be
Yeah.
done. And this dude was like doing shows, the show before the Arnold, all those shows after the Arnold, all the shows in the summer, spring, the fall, European tour. And I'm like, I remember thinking, man, how's this dude do this? But he did it. So
That's you gotta
it's
love
insane.
competing. You gotta love it.
Johnny, I will say this, Johnny loves bodybuilding. It's I knew he did, but I think I realized it. I really realized how much he loved it this year. When getting ready for making his comeback. We were at a Body Power in Birmingham
Mm.
when we were still competing, and we're walking into the expo before it started, and there's this giant line of people, man. I don't know, several thousand people lined up, like they do at all the big expos, waiting to get in. We're walking, and everybody's, like I hear them, like, "Oh, there's Branch and Johnny," and everybody, all the cameras are stopping and taking pictures as we're walking, and Johnny's smiling. He's like, "Man, I love this shit," and he goes, "Dude, one day we're gonna miss." I said something because I was probably a grouch because I don't know, I was early in the morning, I was jet lagged and didn't have my breakfast I wanted or something, I don't know. And he's
Uh-oh.
like, "Dude," he goes, "You're gonna miss this one day,"
Mm.
and I was like, he was right. So it was
Mm.
and I think that's he loves it as much as I love it. I think he even loves it more.
Well, you don't miss it enough to go back just to experience it again. You're not gonna do that.
No, I'm not gonna do
So,
that. That's why I'm saying I think as much as I love it, he loves it even more.
yeah.
So
No, I mean that's a bodybuilder at heart. That
so
that someone's gonna be a bodybuilder till the day they put him in the ground.
yep.
So yeah, cool, man. All right, Branch. Appreciate you taking the time. Best of luck with the Wicked Cuts. WickedCuts.com, everybody. It is delicious and it is a perfect quarantine snack for your needs. Yeah. All right, man. Thanks, Branch. Thanks everybody for watching Ronline Report with Branch Warren. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Ron.